Hello, everybody. It's me, Hannah. I wanted to come on and share a little story. I just had a friend of mine tell me that he watches all of my content, all of my stuff. I received really beautiful feedback. I went home to a wedding with my high school friends, and I received really beautiful feedback about the content I've been sharing and posting and how it's been helping them. And something he said was, "Oh, it's so vulnerable." So I watch the 10-minute videos that you post, right? And it kind of, I was like, oh, you know, like, oh, I forget that humans really love vulnerability. It's very human to be vulnerable. This used to be something that was really challenging for me. I saw my vulnerability as a weakness. I saw my feelings as a weakness, even my tears, which are already coming misty in my eyes, as a weakness. When really it's just such a deep, for me, ability to feel. And sometimes when I'm speaking or sharing, it does come through in a really strong way. And I forget that that is one of our greatest superpowers on the earth, is to be able to feel, to be able to hear your heart and move from your heart center. So the other day I posted a video of me doing an accent. And when I created this video, I was so thrilled with how it turned out. I thought it was so funny. I still think it's very funny. And it was just so different from anything I had ever shared before. And it really felt like me. Like while I was recording, I was like, this is so me. And why is it so me? It's so me because I am very silly. I'm very goofy. I'm very don't take things very seriously. In terms of, I like to keep it pretty lighthearted. I like to be playful. I don't like to have really strict rules and things set on my life, because in my opinion, I really see that as souls, we're here to have fun and to have a human experience. Obviously, I know there's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of really horrible things, and naturally my heart goes out to all the people that are hurting, and the countries that are hurting. And this is more for the people that have the ability to watch this video. And it feels so important to me that for the people that have the ability to watch this video, as in you have a phone, you're in a healthy spot, even if you're not in the most healthy spot mentally or physically, you're in a healthy environment, and you're safe, essentially. It feels important to me that the people that do have access to platforms, that do have access to a voice and a little bit more freedom that we may not be seeing in other parts of the world, that we're really doing our part to shine our light bright, to shine, to be in our fullness, to be in our God light, because that is what's going to bring balance to the imbalance of darkness that we're currently seeing in our world. So that's just a little tangent on the importance of your light and the importance of your heart. And it is so important. So instead of feeling like you need to suppress your lightness or your joy or your happiness or your ability to thrive and be vibrant and alive right now, in order to make the other, the darker things going on seem better, right? That's not doing anybody it's service. It's not serving anybody to dim yourself down at this time. And actually at this time is the most important time to be in your fullness, to be in your radiance, to be in your light, and to be a beacon of light for those that are going through struggles, right? Whether on a really extreme level or a lighter level. So I posted a video and I was feeling really excited about it. I was feeling really in my light. And I used to have a challenging experience being the fullness of myself, which is pretty silly and playful, because I had the mind that I need to shrink this part of me because other people are suffering, other people are hurting. I also had this mind of, I need to shrink this part of me because it's what I was taught as I was growing up, that this joy and radiance and light was bad, was it would get me judged, it would get me shamed, it would get me made fun of, it would get me pushed away. It was just a lot of negative things came with this aspect of myself. And so for a really long time, I pushed this part of me down, and I didn't lean into my humor, and I didn't lean into my silliness, and I didn't lean into my joy, and I didn't lean into my radiance, and I didn't lean into my magnetism, because I didn't want to upset anybody around me. I've always been very drawn to videos. I've always been very drawn to videoing myself. I was a theater kid. I was a theater kid up until middle school, when I started realizing this vibrancy, or theater kids are often seen as a little bit more weird. Where in middle school, if you're comparing theater to or in high school, if you're comparing theater to, let's say, cheerleading or football, right? Those are, because of society and TV, seen as the more normal paths. Whereas if you go down a little bit more of a theatric or artistic, right, you're really in your artistic expression, you can get a little bit more of a side eye. So I picked up on that pretty quickly. And out of middle school, I was doing improv, I was doing monologues, theater. I did theater my whole life. As a child, I'd walk in and I would land these lead roles. They'd change the roles to fit me, and even in those spaces, there were a lot of side eyes, right? Because it's essentially a competition inside of theater programs and things like this. So I'm curious if you guys have anything like this in your life, where it was like you started noticing, okay, my light was really bright when I was younger, and as I've gotten older, it started to kind of dim itself down, and all those parts of me that I was really in love with and that I really loved bringing forth in myself as a child have started to change in my adulthood. So I had created this video, and I was let me finish the spot. And I'll always come around in my thinking. I'll always come back around. And if I don't, it wasn't meant to be. But what was I saying? So for a lot of my past 10 years, I was pretty dull. I've been essentially pretty dull. From the outside, it may not look that way. I'm still pretty outgoing and alive, but not to my fullest extent, right? Somebody told me the other day, they said, "You've been playing small." And I'm like, "I've been playing small." You're right. And each time I hear this, and I've heard this a lot in my life, in reflection from my friends and people around me that care about me, they're like, "You're so vibrant and alive in person." I'd really love to see that translated onto, platforms. And I've had an interesting relationship with social media. I think everybody has in some way. And my journey's been a really interesting one. And it's one that I really love. I really love being on social media. I really love filming myself. Like I said, I was a theater kid. I really love showing up in my fullest expression, right? And it feels like my past few years' journey has been figuring out what this fullest expression is really unfolding into. And I think it's constantly an unfolding. But what does it look like? Who is Hannah really? Who is she, and who does she want to show herself as on a platform where there's so many eyes, right? And one of my greater wounds, I know that word is so overused right now, but that is what it was. One of my greater hurts, one of my greater ouchies, was that I really, really, really cared about what other people thought about me. It took over my whole life. My whole life. I wouldn't do anything, because I was worried what they were thinking, negative and positive. But really, I think when we suppress this part of ourselves, it's also out of the positive. What may make people uncomfortable. I think that's what the light often brings forth, is a little potential of jealousy, a potential of judgment, a potential of misunderstanding someone, when it is you are walking in your light and you are walking in your individual truth. And so that was a really big challenge for me in my life, was showing up on socials in my fullest expression. And the other day, like I was saying, there's that loop, it's coming back around. I posted a video of me being really silly, had an accent, really felt like me. And I've done a few accents before, but this one, it was just like I was in it. I was improv, and um, I was really inside of this character. And I haven't been inside of a character in that way in a long time, since I was younger, and I would really allowed myself to be there. And I posted this. I was so excited to share this part. And I do coaching, self-trust coach, holistic coach. So that's been another layer of it. It's like, how does one weave together all the parts of themselves, right? And so the humor aspect is a really big part of me, and it's been wanting to come through more. So I posted this video. I was very excited, and I opened my phone in the morning, and I had engagement wasn't great. That never bothers me, but I had lost a bunch of followers, and I was like, whoa, 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 right? It's like, that's a weird experience to have, to show up fully as yourself, to show up in your fullest expression, in your silliness, in your playfulness, and know your intention, right? Know where your heart's at. And to see a follower count drop drastically. I think that's the word. I know it's not drastically. That's like the dinosaurs. Drastically. To see such a decline was a little mind-blowing. And in the past, what I was really reflecting on in the past, this would have hurt. Like, I would have been like, ouch. And I would have gone through all the things, and I would have gotten a pit in my stomach, and I would have thought people don't like me, and all of these kinds of things. And because of the work that I've done with my internal systems, with healing myself, and it's always a continual journey of healing. This was even a point of like, well, look how far I've come in my healing journey. I was like, well, that was me. That was me. That's who I am, right? And in the past, it would have been like, oh, they don't like me. Oh, I said something that offended them. Oh, something was on. Maybe it was this. And I would have sat there and I would have analyzed what went wrong to cause people to go to my profile and unfollow me, right? Whereas this time I woke up and I was like, damn. What a funny cosmic lesson to be like, this is the fullest expression of me. And then people are like, we don't like it. And that's the point I want to touch on. The fullest expression of you not everybody's gonna like. Not everybody's gonna jive with. Not everybody's gonna understand. This is very real. This is also very human. Our hearts, let's talk about our hearts for a little bit. And when I talk about my heart, sometimes it makes me tear up. So I told you guys at the beginning of the video, if that happens, let it happen. Vulnerability. Our hearts are, really quick side note, this topic I had started talking about in a YouTube video years ago. I never posted the video. I was talking about leading with your heart, the unfolding of your path through listening to your heart. And at the time I couldn't post it. I still haven't posted it because I couldn't, it was me. It was like all of me. It was my authentic expression, but I was too worried about what other people thought. I was second guessing my words, my edits, everything like that. Okay. I'm in a completely different place now is what I'm saying. Our hearts are the ultimate guide of light in our life. They are our closest connection to divinity, to God, to the universe, to source, to spirit, however you want to say it, however you name this frequency of love, right? All of these religions and ideas and different names for this source comes from the deeper understanding of love. That's what everybody's feeling in connection with these deities, in connection with these masters, in connection with the nature, in connection with the Bible, in connection with yoga, and whatever it is, everyone is individually connecting with. What they're tuning into is the frequency of love. That's what's so encapsulating about it. That's what so draws people in, because love is everything. It's the foundation of everything. It's from what we were created. This unconditional love that flows through the universe, or God, or source. Again, I like to use God generally, but there's many different names. And when you're tuned into your heart, and I mean really tuned into your heart, and you do the work that needs to be done to uncover layers of yourself that have been told are wrong, embarrassing, shameful, not serious enough, not empathetic enough, whatever it is, these layers that cover the truth of who you are, the truth of your individual heart, right? Because we all have a collective heart, a collective love. And then within our own vessel that God has brought forth to us in this world, in our own experience, in our own soul incarnation, we have a heart that is called to something specific in this life. It's drawn to something that only you have. It's your gift. It's your light. It's your radiance. It's your magnetism. It's all of you. It's you. It's you with a capital Y-O-U, period. It's you. In our world right now, many are having trouble connecting to this heart, to their heart. Often because we're in the mind. We're stuck up in anxiety and depression and confusion and misalignment and indirection, and they said this and they said this, and there's a lot of confusion up here right now. And confusion in the mind causes separation in self, inside of yourself. And separation inside of yourself causes separation externally. So we can see on a collective level there is massive amounts of separation right now. It is of my belief that if we can come into deeper wholeness within ourselves, not as fragmented, not a bunch of fragmented pieces, but a sense of wholeness, centered, grounded, trusting our heart. Trusting that our heart's connected to all the hearts. Being discerning of what our heart's saying, listening. If we can tune into this frequency more and more and more and more, we'll see a collective healing that will start rippling across our entire world. Why? Because the more people we have in the light, the more it shines on the darkness. Like a flashlight. That's my flashlight, shining on the darkness. And it illuminates this darkness. So just like with social media, if you get on and you have a voice and you want to be seen and you want to be in your fullest expression, however that shows up for you, it's going to shine light on other people's darkness. It may trigger, it may make jealous, right? In darkness, we can see darkness as like, and darkness isn't a bad thing per se. There's a shadow and a light, right? In order to come into the light, we have to do shadow work. This is the work, right? This is the inner healing work. So it shines light on people's shadows, and then they get to go, oh, right? And as awareness builds, it's like, oh, why did that bother me? Why did that trigger me? Why did that affect me? Okay. So when I see a drop in followers, I'm like, I touched on some people's stuff. That's all it is. I touched something that they didn't like, and they unfollowed, right? Assuming. This is assumption. It's generally why people unfollow. They're like, don't vibe with that, which is cool. Peace. It's cool. I like it. But it's an awareness and a witnessing of why things like this are going on right now. Okay? All of this to say, don't dim your light to please the other people. Okay? Because there's people that may have seen that video of mine. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just itching it. I swear. I picked it for a second. Okay. So there's people that may have seen that video and gone, oh, I really resonate with what she just did. That accent she did. She's funny, right? I get her. I'm not so serious either. They may have gotten that, and some may not, okay? And this is what I want to say about the authentic piece of it and your heart of all of it. Your heart is your gift. So if people don't like your gift, okay, that's okay. There will be people that do like your gift. And this is what causes polarity in the message that you're bringing forward, right? And everybody needs to see certain messages on their own soul journey evolution. So to dim your light, to hide your radiance, to hide your humor, to hide whatever parts of you that you've pushed back. I want you to think about who you were as a child, what you really enjoyed to do as a child. Maybe you like to paint, maybe you like to draw, maybe you like to sing, maybe you like to act, maybe you like to run outside, climb things, whatever it was you like to do as a child. I really like to encourage my clients to bring that into their life now, because this is what's alivening and helping us unleash these layers of our hearts. There's many different, right? There's work that goes into this. There's also play that goes into this. The work is the shadow work. That's the inner work. And then there's the play that comes where it's like, how can I just be in joy? How can I just be in joy right now? And a lot of what the shadow work does is allows us to be in joy. It allows us to be in play. It allows us to call back to that childlike energy that we had. The energy that we came into the world with. The energy of a pure heart, of a true heart. You. Your truest, purest essence before all the muck got piled on top of it. Who is that? It's like a flower, like a rose. Who is that? Who is that person? What does he or she like? How do they want to express themselves? How do they want to be in the world? Do they actually want to be on social media, but they're too scared of what people think? There's work to be done there. My whole philosophy is that we don't have to remain in boxes. We don't have to remain stuck in who we've been our whole lives. We can do work that heals these parts of ourselves and allows newness to merge out of us. And in this newness is the totality, at least the totality of the essence of who we are, who God planned for us to be in order to reach these higher levels of consciousness in our world. to reach the higher level of love, the frequency of love in our world, to raise our level of consciousness as a collective so that we don't see as much pain and hurt and despair and sadness and depression and anxiety. So that we can create a world where we're thriving and glowing and radiant and standing in our divinity and moving from love. Moving from love, not from fear or hurt. Move from love now. Move from love now. Now, right now. Always coming back to love. Always coming back to truth. In my opinion, love is the only truth with a capital T. That's truth. That's the truest essence of everything that we swim inside of. I was going to say stand on, but it's very much in the air, right? It's a field. Love is the truest essence. And then, of course, there's enlightenment. But for most of us, love is the one to really swim inside, the one that we can really grab onto in this world before we, transcend into enlightenment. And I'm less of the knowledge of enlightenment, clearly, than I am of the knowledge of the frequency of love. So my advice would be that anytime you feel fear or anxiety or depression or worry about what people think, come back to your heart. Sit with her. Sit with her. I really see the heart as a feminine energy. Even in men, I see it as a more feminine energy. It's soft, it's nurturing, holds compassion, understanding, grace. This softer energy. Sit with her. Come back to her. Listen. Move from that place. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love who you are, all of you. That's where true freedom lives. In your heart. In the love. In the joy. Is that all I have to say today? I think so. I'll give you a little Palo Santo to leave with. In the past, I could never have put Palo Santo on the camera. I would have been seen as crazy. Now, I don't care. Because I like the way it smells. And I like what it does for me. It clears me out. I hope it clears you out too. Be free. Enjoy the rest of your day. And this love and abundant blessings to you.